Does the government have a right to conduct these programs over populations? If we move back to a UN treaty in 1976 that was passed forbidding weather manipulation during wartime, in that treaty, a country's own right to experiment on their own populations was not forbidden. So we have loopholes in the system, especially in regard to national security, where countries are not forbidden to conduct such programs over their own populations. The U.S. military leaders have stated on the record the greatest and most immediate threat to U.S. national security is the disintegrating climate. Do we really believe that these people in the military-industrial complex are going to ask our permission to intervene with the climate? In the course of our legal proceedings on the climate engineering issue, do our attorneys expect the national security card to be played as this issue begins to come to light? Yes, they do. But is that not an admission that these programs are going on? It is. This is a primary question that so many people use to fortify their denial and walk away from this issue. How many things have they done to themselves already that we already know about? How about detonating over 2,000 nuclear weapons around the globe? The initiation of which they did not know the consequences of, but they did it anyway. Every life form on the planet is contaminated with the fallout from those 2,000 nuclear bomb detonations. Don't they know they work after several dozen? But they kept doing it. Let's look at Fukushima. We have now 3 reactors in full meltdown. No end in sight to that situation, no known technology to fix it, and yet we're building 60 more nuke plants right now. In the case of climate engineering, again, it's a very complex issue. It's not a deliberate attempt necessarily at ecocide, genocide, or omnicide, but it does add up to that. The planet has been irreparably damaged now, and those in power simply look at this as a risk-to-risk scenario, the risk of doing it versus the risk of not doing it. We're already geoengineering the planet. Human activity is a form of geoengineering, period. When you alter the natural life form or life-sustaining systems of the planet, you're geoengineering the planet. So from their perspective, they feel compelled to try to engineer the planet, to compensate for the damage already done. There's many people making profit at this. Disaster capitalists, too many people invested to turn back. So in order to keep business as usual, they have chosen for us, without our knowledge or consent, to engineer the planet, going back 70 years, doing immensely more damage than what was already done. How many examples do we need of the suicidal behavior of those in power? And we have a population that simply wants to look the other way, wants to go about their personal pursuit of pleasure, and doesn't want to do their part.